It is something that an artist of any kind is bound to deal with at some point in their life, especially if art becomes your job. But sometimes it's really difficult to pinpoint what's wrong until it's too late and your creative batteries have run dry. In the beginning of this year, I felt my work slowly decline, and initially I blamed it on my skills. Maybe I was stuck in a rut and needed to practice more. But with each month that passed, my ability to draw the things I wanted only worsened to the point of struggling to draw simple lines. I've always heard of the term burnout, but I couldn't believe that I would ever have it. Drawing and creating things has always been the one thing that brought me the most joy, and suddenly that was not the case anymore. My goal with this video was to fall in love with art again and explore all the things that made me want to do this in the first place. If you resonate with all of this, feel free to paint along with me.
In the darkness when I'm stumbling and I don't know what to do, when it all feels overwhelming, I am never over you, and I don't know why I'm like this, why I never get enough. In the depths of all my drowning fears, I am covered in love.
I set up my canvas and I started preparing the underpainting, which is basically one solid color that you cover the whole canvas in and you wait for it to dry up. For me, that helps a lot with breaking the fear of starting a new painting, especially working on such a bigger surface area than I'm used to. I just wanted to put something there so it's not blank and white and staring at me. After that, I started working on the main object of the painting, which is sort of a portrait of myself depicting the imagination. My favorite process of illustrating and creating things has always been to imagine stories and color palettes and things that weren't there before. So this is what I tried to capture with this painting. I was really enjoying the process and working in such a big canvas, but this is the moment where I made my first mistake that I regret. I had this metallic red that I really like and I really wanted to use somewhere. I had never used it before. So I started to slowly incorporating it in the light sources of my painting. But then for some reason the intrusive thought won and I just slathered it all over the canvas. I wanted to let loose and try new things, but quickly the color palette just started to clash and I was just really not enjoying how the result turned out. The red was much cooler than the rest of the colors and it just took away attention from the main object of the painting and it did not incorporate well with the rest of the colors. Just with how I got to the point of burnout, I should have stopped working on this painting and I should have taken a break. But instead, I kept working on it. Afterwards, I tried to change the color palette so it works better with the red by putting a lot of this light blue color and mixing it in. But nothing seemed to work well. And all I was doing was overworking the painting and adding way too much, way too quickly. The paint didn't have a chance to dry, so the more I mixed, the more it would make this muddy purple color, and it kept changing any color I would put on the canvas. So Being frustrated and feeling a little bit defeated by the process, I decided to have a break and go make myself lunch. Returning to the painting after a bit of a break showed me that it wasn't as bad as I thought while I was working on it. This can happen often when you work on something for a prolonged period of time. You become so focused on certain parts of the process that it's hard to see the whole thing from afar. Once I was back into my rhythm, work became enjoyable again. The fact that my initial idea for this painting fell apart actually freed me from the pressure of having it be perfect, since I no longer knew how it would look like in the end. I just kept working on it, adding contrast and details where I thought was necessary, and leaving it abstract and unfinished in other places. In the end, the red paint that I thought ruined it in the beginning was now the best feature of the project. Depending on where the light came from, the red would change color, from a bright metallic pink to a deep red in the shadow. It is something that I could have never planned to paint on my own. And that was the spark that I was missing from my work. And that wraps up the process of painting this canvas. I really enjoyed painting this. As you saw, the initial idea was very different from what ended up being the final painting, but I think that's exactly what I wanted from this exercise, to try something that's outside of my comfort zone, to take me out of all the work I've been doing for the past 5-6 months, and this did exactly that. I enjoyed painting it so much. It returned me back to why I feel joy from painting, of just relaxing and kind of zoning out, going into my own world, choosing colors, just putting paint strokes on the canvas. It was lovely to get out of my head, and I can definitely feel more of my creative spark coming back, and I'm excited to try out new projects that are also outside of my comfort zone. I hope this video inspired you to do the same and to try new things. Push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit more and enjoy being creative again. Whatever medium or art that you like doing, just do more of it with no pressure and for nobody to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.